Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
You know, George, before we get to the phones, I thought it might be fun to talk nerdy.
You know I love talking nerdy.
I mean, you talk nerdy is about as well as anybody I know.
Well, you know more big words than anyone I know, so we both relate in that way.
And so this is a fun little segment where George nerds out on the fine print, if you will, as the former host of the fine print. Do you still do those? You don't do those.
No, I miss it. We kind of switched it up when I did my YouTube channel, which is a version of the fine print podcast. But it's the same thing. I want to break down these
What are we doing today?
money concepts that can feel overwhelming, complicated.
Right.
I never fully understood it, and I want to break it down quickly for the benefit of the people listening and watching.
I can't wait. What is the topic today?
Refinancing. So you've heard of financing.
We're talking about
we're refinancing.
Coming back to the table.
Booyah.
Okay.
And we're going to specifically focus on refinancing a mortgage, okay?
Man.
So if you bought a home when interest rates were high, you may be wondering if refinancing might save you some money. Now that rates have dropped a little bit. Well, it can, but it also depends. So what is this? Mortgage refinancing, very simply, it's when you replace your current mortgage with a new one. Why should you do it? Why do people do this? Well, number one, to get a lower interest rate. All right, so you got to make sure that refinancing will save you money in the long run more than it costs you. Number two, people do it to reduce the loan term and become debt-free faster. So you go from a 30-year mortgage or an adjustable rate mortgage to a fixed rate 15-year mortgage, for example, and that can get you a lower interest rate, shorter mortgage payoff, get your house paid off sooner, double win. Another reason people do it is to get rid of PMI, private mortgage insurance. And it's a great way to pay less on that monthly payment because you're not paying the lender anymore, and it really just protects them in case you foreclose. And lastly, like I mentioned, you're switching the loan type. A lot of people have an adjustable rate mortgage, and maybe they want to go to a fixed rate mortgage. That would be a good time to refinance as well to avoid those rate fluctuations. So for everyone out there, here's the questions to ask yourself. How much will my interest rate go down? How much will it save me? And what will I pay in closing costs? And closing costs can run about 2 to 6% of the total amount you're borrowing, depending on your situation, where you're at, all of that. So here's the deal. Simply, only refinance if it gives you a lower interest rate and saves you more money than it costs. So an example, if you save $2,500 a year refinancing, but you have $10,000 in closing costs, it will take 4 years to break even before you start saving money. So refinancing is only a good idea if you plan to stay put long enough to save money. So that's kind of where you got to weigh it and go, all right, we do plan on staying here long enough to get the ROI on this. So it's that simple. Here's 6 steps. If you're ready to do this, crunch the numbers to see if it makes sense financially. Number 2, you've got to shop around for the best interest rate. 3, you got to choose a lender. Don't forget to ask about those closing costs, the fees, the prepayment penalties. A lot of them will lure you in and go, we're going to give you a great rate. But then they ding you with all these fees on the back end to make up for it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't fall for that one.
Little bait and switch.
You love that term.
I was looking for it. You helped me out.
I got there faster. I'm quick to the draw.
You are.
Cowboy Camel here.
That's it.
And number 4, you got to lock in the rate. 5, you'll go through the underwriting process, just like you did when you got the original mortgage. And then 6, you close on the new mortgage. Good for you. So here's the deal. If you need help, you got questions with this about refinancing, do what I do. Reach out to our Ramsey trusted friends at Churchill Mortgage. They are experts in this, and you can go to RamseySolutions.com/mortgage or click the link in the description if you're listening on YouTube or podcast. Quick and painless, Ken.
This is why I like when you talk nerdy. I mean, we all need a little nerdy talk.
Some people fell asleep at the wheel.
I don't think so.
In that segment.
I think you laid it out beautifully.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.